Okay, T-minus 10 form submissions till we begin the meeting. We're almost there, folks. Thank you for your patience. Rohan, thank you for keeping me updated on quorum. Folks, we now have enough people here to begin the meeting. So with that, our third to last meeting of the school year will now become to order. And with that, I will pass over the floor to Rohan Wilco, who's our VP of Information, to go over the previous minutes.
Thank you, Rio. Good evening, everyone. Our last Senate meeting was on March 2nd. We began the meeting as usual by getting the minutes of the previous meeting on February 2nd approved. We had a couple of special orders and educational presentations. The first one was from CAPS, where they had shared a few sustainable ways to take care of our mental health. And the second one was from Elisa Hale Schramm from the city of College Station, where she had shared some insights regarding the proposed residency occupancy overlay in the city of College Station. Moving on to the legislative reports, in Rio's section, we had one of our senators, Nia Wilson, talking about one race talk series she is participating in. And Rio had also shared about the 2020-21 GPSG officer elections, and the deadline was March 5th. More shall follow in this meeting. From Chandler, we had the usual updates regarding committee assignments and preferences. Moving on to committee chairs. From CJ, we had gathered news about multiple levels, starting from the federal level. We had gathered that there is confirmed proposed change for F, I, and J visas to fixed duration was scrapped. On state level, we had gathered that the OMLD was postponed, and he had shared a couple of links to keep track of the legislative session in Texas right now, the Texas rent relief, and the mask mandate. At the local level, he had shared some information on the residency occupancy overlay. And at the university level, he had mentioned about the SGA elections and the Campus Connect training. Finally, from Paloma, our programming service and recruitment chair, we had gathered that we will be having our annual banquet virtually this year on April 27th from 6 to 8 p.m. And that we were also hosting a virtual movie night on March 11th. And if you are interested in becoming the programming chair for the next session, please feel free to contact Paloma. Thank you.
Rohan, thank you for sharing these updates. Can I get a motion from a senator to approve the minutes as read?
Step Aduma, Psychology, motion to approve minutes as read.
I second the motion.
Appreciate you both. All in favor, please unmute and say aye.
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 Thank you. All opposed? And abstentions? The minutes have been approved as read. Rohan, thank you very much. Next, we have a speaker today from the International Student Services. He's actually their director. His name is Mr. Bill Taylor. Now, recently we have fielded a number of concerns that some students had about ISS with their service delivery, questions about how the process works. So we shared those with Mr. Taylor, and today he's going to take maybe around 10 minutes to explain some of the root causes of those issues so that hopefully collaboratively GPSG and ISS can work together to get through these and make it a better program for all. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Bill Taylor. He's welcome to turn on his camera and go over some things with us.
Thank you. Again, my name is Bill Taylor. I'm the Director of International Student Services. And I appreciate y'all giving me the time to talk about what we're doing and some areas we're improving on. Just to kind of give you a little bit of background, and then I'm going to go into the questions, is in fall 2020, we had 5,010 international students enrolled at Texas A&M. The top 5 countries are China, India, Mexico, Korea, and Iran. The amount of processing that we do annually, in 2019, we processed about a little over 15,000 documents, benefits, etc., for students. And in 2020, it was around 12,000. The reason for the drop was students weren't coming to the United States in a good part of 2020. So just kind of a little background there. The questions that I'm going to go through here, and just going to go through the list. Delayed processing on I-20s for incoming students, loss of opportunity to show at the visa appointment due to non-issuance of I-20 on time, loss of opportunity to show of the visa appointment due to not sending the I-20 on time, and deferring of the visa for, or deferring, having to defer because of the I-20. So what I've taken a look at the data, and we've made some improvements on how we're processing I-20s through Teradata. In 2019, about 76% of all applications were either paper or they were sent via email. Well, in 2020, now 76% of all applications are going through our software called Teradata. So we've shifted from basically being a paper-based office to an online office where students are able to submit through that. We've opened up the I-20 process a little earlier this year, and we're streamlining the process in Teradata each cycle we go through. And what we're doing is, right now I have staff that are focused solely on Teradata upgrade. Teradata is the software we use to interact between the student information system, Compass, and the student exchange visitor information system, SEVIS, the government database. And so we're doing a major upgrade, which will be completed toward the end of this semester, that will streamline and simplify the I-20 process considerably, we hope. But we are in the process of issuing I-20s right now, and we are actually seeing an increase in the number of applications than we had, of course, definitely this time last year, but the year before as well. The other question is delayed processing on I-20 for graduating systems, probable missing of deadlines for applying for an H-1B visa, non-issuance of I-20 when converted for master's to PhD. So one of the things that we have also changed is on the issuance of students can now schedule appointments online rather than trying to call through the office. We recognize our phone system has a lot to be desired, and I'll talk more about that in a moment. But we've in 2020 we have moved, or actually, whatever year this is, 2021, we're actually moved to an online system called EAB Navigate, which will allow any student to schedule an appointment online and set it, cancel it, however they want to handle that. And that should assist with questions. We've also moved to virtual drop-in online through EAB Navigate, where students you can go at certain times. You go to the ISS webpage to the About ISS. There's a section in there about how to schedule the appointment and how to and the times that we're doing the virtual drop-ins so that students can come in and ask an advisor. And we have virtual drop-in time available each weekday. The processes for converting from master's to PhD, we've worked with Homeland Security and with the SEVP, and we now have permission to actually, when a student switches from master's to PhD, we can now issue the I-20 for the full length of the program rather than 1 year at a time. That's a change in how Homeland had us doing that for a while. And we've got that cleared with them. So any student who goes from master's to PhD should get the full amount on the F1. The I-20 should be issued for the rest of the length of their program. Now, if you're on a J1 visa, of course, the DS-2019 can only be extended to the length of financial resources or sponsorship at that time. The other issue on travel signatures, again, we've converted that from a paper-based system to through Teradata. We should see that the processing time is basically 15 business days. So that should be processed within that time period. The other question was delays in waiving off insurance or refunds, at times even 1 year. Okay, so there's several issues with health insurance that we need to discuss. Texas A&M University system, that's the unit that's above the university. The system requires all students who are on a F1 or J1 visa to have to purchase the student health insurance plan. That's in their rules. If a student is on a graduate assistantship, that graduate assistantship can take the place of the health insurance. What we've been learning over the last few years is in Workday, there are fields that students have to fill out in order for the insurance, for their insurance to start and for it to show up on the Texas A&M University system spreadsheet that tells us who we can waive the insurance fee from and that they're covered by the graduate assistantship plan. Some of the fields that are consistently missed have been like the visa type that is inputted in Workday. Other fields have been the alien work authorization expiration date. Now, one of the things in conjunction with the A&M system, the university has worked to get that field to be automatically filled out by the I-9 process. So that should resolve that field from being blank when the data is fed over. So there's several things that have been occurring to help reduce that. And we're in constant contact with the A&M system to find better ways to waive the insurance for graduate assistantships. And we are working with the provost office to develop a better procedure than what happened this past summer. That the A&M system did not waive any insurance for the summer semester, and that caused all kinds of issues. We're working with the system and the provost office to come up with a possible solution that should eliminate that from being an issue this next summer, as long as workday is filled out correctly. Concerns on discrimination against some students, that any discrimination should be reported to me immediately, please, and I will handle that personally. That discrimination is not allowed in my office. So if that happens, please let me know, and I'll provide you my email address in a moment. The timely meetings are not being set up. Like I said, we've gone to Navigate, EAB Navigate, so students should be able to get an appointment scheduled within a week. And every day there is online time for you to virtually drop in to the ISS office. And those times are, the advisors are available to meet with the students at those times. Now, accurate and timely information not being shared, website, social media. We've shifted the process for updating the website, and there's we have a process for that, so that should be occurring. And conduct of staff at times is improper. Again, let me know directly. No answers to emails, phone calls at times. Okay, the emails have been a problem. We are working to get those cleared out, and pretty much from this point on, after this week, any emails, all emails should be answered within a week period for students. And that's our goal, and we've shifted staff around to meet that commitment. The phone calls, we've replaced the phone system in 2020 so that staff could be able to answer the phones from home while we were out for COVID. What happens usually is we have at least 2 to 3 people on the phones at a time. And if multiple calls come in at the same time, 2 to 3 of those calls will be answered, but anything after that will either have to wait or leave a message, and then we will call them back. I have a staff member who is responsible for calling phones back in 24 hours. So I kind of rushed through that to make sure that we had time for any additional questions.
Folks, if you have a question, I think we have time for at least one, maybe two. Press Alt and Y to raise your hand, and I will acknowledge you to speak. Rohan, you're acknowledged.
So, Mr. Taylor, so the main concern of some students is that there is a lot of time being taken for I-20 processing or CPT and OPT processing. So is it your view that once everything is on a digital platform, it will streamline the process and it will resolve the issue?
The process will, no, it's not going to resolve every issue by any means. What it does is it does speed up the time it gets to the advisor instead of having to be scanned in or anything like that. or be taken to the advisor's office from the front counter. Every day, once somebody submits an application during the weekdays, it is by the following day, it should be assigned to an advisor for review. Now, once it's with the advisor, the processing time will still take about 15 business days to process because of the queue of students who may be in front of that application. So once students are, like, for example, this for the summer, students can start applying for the CPT once they have put the course on their degree plan and registered for the course. Once those two things happen, and that's usually mid-April, they can submit the application through Teradata to us. And then our goal is to have that processed within 15 business days.
Okay.
And there's always going to be, if there's back and forth, if an application isn't completely filled out, or if the degree is not on the degree plan, or the course is not on the degree plan, that will delay items as well. But that's our goal, and that's what we're aiming to make sure that we hit this cycle. And I have staff who are monitoring that closely.
Mm-hmm. I asked this question because there have been concerns about the ISS being understaffed. So that is why I asked whether everything being on a digital platform, will that stream at least help resolve the...
But it definitely, yeah, it definitely does. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you there. It definitely will help with that, because what it is doing, it's knocking off several days from the process, in the sense of the application doesn't go, the student does not have to walk the application to our office. Then we have to get it in the computer system. Then we have to move it. It's already in the system once the student submits it. So that is helping with that. We are also going, my boss, Dr. Blazer, and I, we are reviewing the office structure as well. And we are going to be reorganizing the office to help better facilitate processing, to better facilitate customer service. We're still working on that, and should have that figured out within toward the end of the month.
Okay, thank you.
Now, Mr. Taylor, I want to thank you for coming over here and taking the time to answer some of these questions. I know at times it could be a little difficult, but we appreciate the work that you do. And I want to make sure that your email address is available to anybody who may need it to reach out.
Yep.
Could I get
wjtaylor@tamu.edu, if you can send that out.
Okay, folks, it's in the agenda under item 3. Mr. Taylor, thank you again for your time. Senate, if you'd like to unmute and thank Mr. Taylor, we'll send him off.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
so
you
much.
very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Taylor.
All right, bye-bye.
Thank you.
Folks, thank you. I want to also mention that this meeting might be a little long today because we have an introduction of our candidates for office for GPSG officer positions. There's going to be an introduction for each of them and a Q&A also. And I will do my best to make sure that we're prompt and be as respectful of your time as I can be. But know that that is a possibility we might go over. So with that, Dr. Morgan Schweller, if you'd like to talk a bit about the Graduate School Task Force Open Forum, the floor is yours.
Howdy. Can y'all hear me? All right. So an invitation went out to basically the entire graduate and professional community last week, to students, staff, and faculty. There are 3 reports out from the Graduate Task Force subcommittees. One that focused on master's programs, one that focused on professional degree programs, and one that focused on doctoral programs. And those committees were tasked with reviewing current practices in these different programs and and kind of evaluating how they could be improved in the context of the strategic plan for 2020-2025. And so those reports have been written. You guys have access to them. You can review them, and they have been kind of condensed into a recommendations document, which is what the Graduate Task Force open forum next Tuesday is focused on. So getting feedback again from the graduate community about the recommendations that these task force would like to present and implement. And so we really hope that you will be able to attend to give us your thoughts and feedback on how we can move forward with the graduate and professional school.
Thank you, Dr. Schweller. With that, we will pass the floor over to Tej for executive reports.
Howdy. So community of the Community of Scholars Planning Committee has reached out to me and asked for recommendation of candidates. If anybody is interested, please reach out to me, and do definitely copy our VPUA, Chandler Wilkins. Yeah, it's definitely an exciting committee to be on, and looking forward to any prospecting candidates. And I'm going to repeat what Dr. Schweller just said. Please be at if you can make it to the open forum. This is an opportunity for you if you're continuing your graduate studies, or if you think you have some valuable thoughts on deciding the future of our grad school. Be sure to be at that be at that forum. So with that, yeah. Thank you all.
You answer those texts. All right. I wanted to make note for something for your calendars. I am helping Hunter Bell run the elections for the GPSG officers. We expect a mass email to go out through the graduate student listserv in early April, possibly April 1st through 3rd, but the exact dates, we don't have them yet. But in that email is going to be a link customized for each person to log in and vote for the next GPSG student body president. So be on the lookout for that. If you want, put it on your calendars. Just saying. With that, I will pass it over to Chandler, VPUA, and he will share his updates.
All right, hey everybody. Here again with the same message that I usually have at every meeting. So first, we have the internal committee preference survey. If you're new and you haven't filled out that survey yet, click that first link, it'll take you there. And from that point, I'll be able to assign you into an internal committee. I'll be looking at that spreadsheet here in a few minutes to see all those who log on, and then just bear with me and I will get you put into an internal committee. If you're unsure if you filled out that committee form or not, click that link in point B and be able to see all of our different committees that we have available. And you'll be able to see, once you search for your name, which committee that you're in. And then for the final part in point C, we have the external committee reports. If you sit on an external committee, then you're required to submit these reports. You click on that link, you'll be able to find the folder that the reports are in. Also a template for how that external committee report should be submitted. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Is there a question for Chandler? No? Okay. Thank you, Chandler, for your updates. Next, we have the Legislative Affairs Chair, CJ Godkin, for a number of updates that he will share with us.
Howdy, everyone. I promise this is one of the last times you will have to hear me rattle off my list of updates as we are reaching the end of the year. But with that said, so the first on my list is SAGE updates. Reminder, this is Student Advocates for Graduate Education. That's a national grad school coalition of which A&M is a member. So coming up next month, around middle of April, will be SAGE Virtual Day on the Hill, where Utej and I will be going with other members of SAGE virtually to Washington, D.C. to convene with other SAGE representatives and meet with members of Congress to present white paper topics that we've discussed in our coalition meetings, as well as just generally advocate for higher education. If you're curious about the topics of the white papers, I listed them there under our SAGE Updates tab. At the university level, there's a few updates as well. There's a finalist name for university president. That's Dr. M. Catherine Banks. She's from the College of Engineering, former dean. And I believe I linked an article there, just sort of discussing that from the university's perspective. As has been mentioned twice before, the grad school task force open forum is coming up. As I understand it, you do have to RSVP for that. So I linked that RSVP right there, as well as the various reports and recommendations that were discussed by previous speakers. An update to the university protocol for COVID. This is in response sort of to the governor's rescinding of the mask and other mandates. In case you missed it, the university plans on enforcing their current COVID protocol through the rest of the semester, and we will see what happens in the fall, but I will keep you all posted on that. Additionally, this upcoming week, A&M is requiring COVID testing for people that meet one or more of those categories listed there. If you live on campus, if you work on campus, or if you attend in-person classes, they are requiring you to get COVID tested. And even if you don't, I would encourage you to get COVID tested anyways, just as a precaution and doing our part for A&M health status. As far as local updates go, Rhea, if you could scroll down a little bit for me there. Thank you. As far as local updates go, not much. The Brazos Valley Vaccine Center is still looking for volunteers. I went ahead and linked that there. I did it a couple times. It's really not much of a commitment. It's 5 to 7 hour shifts, and there's a fairly good chance they will vaccinate you, as they want people working there to be vaccinated, considering you're working with lots of people. So yeah, there's lots of different positions there. I worked in a parking lot. I've seen people working with check-in, running medical supplies back and forth. Something for everyone. So I encourage you all to look that out and help out if you have the time. At the state level, as I've been mentioning, I think every meeting so far, we're still in the legislative session. Not a whole lot of exciting stuff happening still, lots of various commemorative legislation, but I linked the tracker there again so you can see what's going on at the legislature. And just for reference, if you're not from Texas, or if you're not particularly concerned with Texas legislation, but you want to follow the legislation of your home state, that tracker also works for most, if not all, of the other states in the US. I didn't link those there, but if you poke around on the website a little bit, you'll find them. As I mentioned a little bit sort of earlier, the state mask and occupancy mandates have been lifted as of last week. So just remember to stay safe out there, practice good judgment, all of that. Additionally, the Orange and Maroon Legislative Day, which is the joint A&M, University of Texas, state legislature lobbying day for higher education, as originally scheduled for February, was postponed due to the winter storm, and is now coming up here at the end of the month. I want to say March 28th is the date that they have scheduled. Finally, at the federal level, President Biden directed the Department of Education to re-examine Trump-era policies on Title IX. Reminder, this is the section of the federal code that concerns sexual misconduct and other similar subjects at institutions of higher education. Additionally, about 2 weeks ago now, if I'm not mistaken, the COVID relief bill passed in Congress. So as part of this, there's about $40 billion going to universities, colleges, and other institutions of higher education in the US. And of this $40 billion, each university is required to put 50% of the received funds towards emergency grants for their students. So if you are currently experiencing hardship due to the pandemic, you are highly encouraged to go seek out that funding, as A&M legally cannot do anything else with that money. And I believe there's a question in the Senate.
You're acknowledged.
Yeah, CJ, I just had a quick question. I was Googling the CARES Act money and everything for A&M. Do we have a timeline of when that will be open for applications for students? Because right now, what I'm looking at, it seems that there's not like an open application for that. Right.
So as far as I understand, and if someone else is aware of this issue, feel free to chime in. But A&M sort of has opened their window already. There's not really an application for it. You have to go through your financial portal, I believe on howdy.tamu.edu. And through there should be an option to apply for emergency funding. Again, I'm not for sure on that. I have not found it myself, but that's what I've been told. And I've also seen people talking about receiving funding already. I will definitely get some more information on that for you all and pass that along after the meeting tonight.
Thank you.
Great. CJ, thank you for your updates. Next, we have our Chair of Programming Service and Recruitment. Her name is Paloma, and the floor is hers.
Hello, guys. We have a pretty full agenda here for activities. So, Ria, if you don't mind clicking on the links when I mention them, thank you. The first thing is an awareness session with Ethan Caesar. He is a stage 4 cancer patient, and he always has very positive and enlightening messages. So this is tentatively going to happen on April 1st. And I say tentatively because due to his condition, he's always in and out of the hospital. So I would appreciate if you guys can start signing up. That way we have a better head count of who will be attending, so I can report that to Ethan. The next event is the Cornhole Bag Game Tournament. This is happening on April 10th. And this is a donation event. I have more information in the sign up sheet. So go ahead and scan the QR code, sign up for the event, and come play the cornhole bag with us. It will be an outdoor event and with plenty of space to spread out. We will give you a gift bag for each donation that you place and participate in the tournament. And yeah, this is gonna happen on April 10th. So please sign up and come spend some time with us on April, springtime. And the last announcement is the banquet. I want to remind you guys that we have the banquet invite going on. And so please respond to this short survey so we know what are your diet preferences, and if to know also that you're coming. So remember the RSVP in the website, in our GPSG website, and yeah, this is going to be on April 27th, and I hope to see you all there. Thank you very much. Thank you, Rio.
Paloma, thank you for your work on those events. I hope that you have strong attendance at all of them. And I'd encourage all of the senators here to invite their friends and check them out. With that, we have Nicholas Farmer, who is our Chair of Diversity, Inclusion, and International Affairs.
Hey guys, just one thing. We're having a GPSG virtual game night next Friday, March 26th at 7 p.m. You can RSVP with the Google form that's linked there. Just your name and email, and we'll send an email out closer to the date to get everybody's information and tell them when what we're going to be doing and how we're going to join the game. We're playing Among Us. But yeah, join up and come play.
Thank you, Nick. Next, we have RK, who is our Chair of Awards and Professional Development.
Howdy all. Today we have our Spring Virtual Conference awardees. Rio, can you click? Okay. Okay. First one is Amanda Johns from Department of Genetics. Can you scroll? Skriley Soliman from Biomedical Engineering, College of Engineering. Fatima Parishai from Department of Architecture, College of Architecture. Kunyu Wang from Department of Chemistry, College of Science. Sakaina Mohammad Mota from Department of Biomedical Engineering, College of Engineering. Yu Chen Kayo from Department of Chemistry, College of Science. Zohring Shah Gainshai from Department of Architecture, College of Architecture. Sorry if I spell your names wrong, but all the senators, please congratulate our awardees.
Congrats.
Congratulations.
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 Okay. Next one is our summer virtual awards are open now, and these will be open until March 31st. These are for conferences starting from May 1st to July 31st, and our annual GPSC Council Awards are also open. The applications will be open from March 16 to April 9th. For more details, please visit our website. I think that's all.
Okay. RK, thank you. And congrats again to those who won the Spring Virtual Conference Awards. That's really exciting. We're in that time of the meeting now where we do our committee meetings, and we're doing pretty well on time, I'd say. So I'll give you all about 10 minutes to join your breakout rooms. And I'm going to try something different here. There is the setting on Zoom that will allow you all to pick the breakout rooms that you go to. So maybe that will help you all save time. So I'm going to check the box that says allow participants to choose room. If you know where you're supposed to go, feel free to try and visit those rooms now. I'm going to open them, and bear with me as I assign you. Thank you. Hi, Lizzie Perry, you raised your hand.
Hi, I'm filling in tonight for Landon Sadler. Which committee am I supposed to be going to?
Let me take a look at that, and I will get back to you. For Lizzie Sadler, you said?
Landon Sadler.
And Landon Sadler. Okay, your name is Lizzie. All right, 1 second.
Thank you.
Hey Rio.
Hey, RK, how you doing?
I'm good. Like, can you send me to the scholarship breakout room, because I think there was some mistake.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Sorry. Also, I don't know which room should I go. I'm one of the recipients of the awards. So this.
You're free to go. If you're an award recipient, you are welcome to take off.
Okay.
Yeah, congrats
Thank
again.
you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm the same case. Thank you.
Okay, good night.
Yeah, you too.
Anna, I see your hand raised.
Yeah, hi. I was just wondering if we're here for the like officer candidates thing, we're not supposed to be in a breakout room, right?
That is correct. You just hang tight. If you're already a senator, you would have known which room.
Okay, great. Just making sure.
Yeah, thank you for your patience.
Bye.
Lizzie, I haven't forgotten about you. I'm going to check that right now. Okay, Lizzie, I'm going to send you to the scholarship committee.
All right, sounds good.
Yes, have a good evening.
Thanks.
Blessing, could I ask you a quick question?
Yes, you can.
How do you like to have your name pronounced?
Blessing.
Your last name, sorry.
Oh, Ayagoro.
Ayagoro, cool.
Yes.
And Anna is it Anna or Anna?
It's Anna.
Ah, Anna, okay. So I will have that right. Anna Casas. You folks from the community committee, do you need me to move you? Okay.
We're done.